What's up guys, it's Ocean here, and today I have a quick and easy beef tomato recipe. Let's get started. For this recipe, you will need 2.5 pounds of teriyaki beef cut into strips, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, salt to taste, 2 slivers of ginger root crushed, 2 whole tomatoes medium diced, 1 whole onion medium diced, 2 whole bell peppers medium diced, 1/4 cup of oyster sauce, half a cup of water, and a little more if needed to tenderize. Okay, we're gonna get straight into this one. I have our pan on the stove on medium-high heat. We got our oil. We're gonna add that in. Let it heat up for a couple of seconds. And then we're gonna take our ginger. I just crushed it. You put it into our pan. As you can see, our ginger is getting nice and brown. It's been about 30 seconds, and now we're ready to add in our beef. This is the teriyaki meat from Pā'ina Foods. I just cut into strips. Now we can add it in. Make sure to be careful because it might splash. I got my beef settled in my pan. We really just want to get it nice and golden brown, but since our teriyaki beef is thin, it's only going to take about 5 to 7 minutes. A couple of minutes into the browning, I'm just going to add a couple of pinches of salt and then stir it in. As my beef was browning, I noticed that a lot of water came out of the beef, so what we did is let the water cook out and evaporate, and now our pan is back to that sizzling sound, and we can add in the rest of our ingredients. We're gonna add in our half a cup of water, our ketchup, and our oyster sauce. These 3 ingredients combined are gonna give you a nice gravy. So after you mix it together, turn your fire down to low. We're gonna let it simmer for about 8 minutes. As always, when we're working with pork or beef, we want it to be nice and tender. So don't be afraid to add a little bit more water if your beef is a little bit tough. Here, I got 1/4 cup of water. We're just gonna add it in, and it will make it so our beef has to simmer for a little bit longer, but it will make it so that the beef is more tender. Alright guys, my beef is nice and tender, but what I was really looking for is the consistency of our gravy. So as you can see here, I'm just running a spoon through it a couple of times, getting it into the gravy. What I'm looking to see is that the gravy is coating the back of the spoon and it's really grabbing on. This means our gravy is nice and thick and is ready for our vegetables. I let my beef simmer for about 15 minutes. Remember, I did add a little more water to get it a little more tender, but it all depends on how much water you added. But as long as your sauce is at this consistency, we're ready to add our vegetables. We're gonna start with our tomatoes. And remember, the tomatoes will have the most water consistency out of any of the vegetables that we're using today. So we're gonna add this first. We're gonna let it cook for a little bit because that's gonna release some water, and then we're just gonna let that cook out. To finish this off, we're gonna put in our onions, stir it in, and let this go for 1 minute. I want to cook my onions, but I want a little bit of a crunch, so no more than 1 minute. Now we're gonna add in our bell peppers. They're super cool from Mo Farms. Green on the inside, purple on the outside. Super cool. We're gonna throw these in. We're just gonna let this go for 30 seconds. We're gonna shut off our fire, and we're ready to plate. I'm serving this with 2 scoops of white rice, and I finished it off with some beautiful akakai green onions from Yamamoto Farms. Thank you to Earl Yamamoto. But I wanna know, do you call this tomato beef or beef tomato? Well, until next time, bye guys.